thanks very much for joining us with all those inputs. We have P.D.T. Achary, who's a constitutional expert on the broadcast with us. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on Mirror Now. Sir, what are your views on the centre's decision of setting up a panel for one nation, one poll?
Well, the terms of reference of this committee are not clear. So at this moment, it is difficult to say whether this committee will, or what this committee will do. But everybody is speculating, and we think that perhaps this committee has been given the task of examining this issue of simultaneous polls. Actually, so far as the simultaneous elections are concerned, this was the practice in 50s and 60s, because Parliament and the assemblies, started together in 1952. And after that, it continued till the political situation changed, and the Parliament had to be dissolved early, and then the whole pattern changed after that. Now, to restore that that practice of pattern, a lot of difficulties are there. So even if you like the idea of simultaneous polls, but you have to look at the practical difficulties. Now, amendments will have to be made to many constitutional provisions. And then, suppose the parliament elections will be held in April or so. And then naturally all the assemblies will have to be dissolved, and elections to those assemblies will have to be held along with parliament. Is it possible? There are assemblies whose elections have been held only recently. So they have just started their term, and then to ask them to dissolve the assembly and then hold the elections. So without dissolving the assembly, you can't hold the elections at this stage. Now the point is, the assemblies are dissolved by a decision of the cabinet of the state. The cabinet decides that assembly should be dissolved and elections should be held. So make a recommendation to the governor dissolves the assembly. That is one way of dissolving the assembly. The other one is the union government intervenes when there is a breakdown of the constitutional machinery in the state. We call it president's rule. So president takes over the whole thing, and the assembly is dissolved. Now, are you going to use Article 356 to dissolve all the assemblies? Because so far as the states which are run by non-BJP parties are concerned, you cannot ask them to dissolve the assembly. They will not do that. Then what? So even if you make an amendment in the constitution, making it compulsory for the governor to dissolve the assemblies, you will be actually infringing the federalism. And federalism is a part of the basic structure. So it is very clear that you can't make an amendment. Parliament has no power to make an amendment which will alter the basic structure. And therefore, that doesn't seem to be possible at all. And without that, how is it possible to see that these assemblies are dissolved and then elections are held to these assemblies? I don't think it is that easy, because even constitutional amendments cannot be made if it actually goes against or violates federalism, and thereby the basic structure of the constitution.
Absolutely.
So the problem, it is actually a very serious issue. It's a very complex issue, and there is no easy solution to this.
Right, sir. Absolutely. Very many challenges associated with the implementation of one poll, one election. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on the broadcast.